On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Neuroscience.
The scientific study of the function, structure, and disorder of the brain and the nervous system.
Examples:
The branch of neuroscience. A theoretical concept in neuroscience. Our university is famous for its professors, who are well-versed in behavioral neuroscience.
Studied.
Deliberately considered or scrutinized, carefully thought out or planned.
Examples:
Studied analysis. Well-studied decision. His speech was carefully crafted and delivered with studied confidence.
Basis.
The most important facts, ideas, or events from which something is developed, the way how things are organized or arranged.
Examples:
On an equal basis. Basis for calculation. This evidence will form the basis for our discussion.
Gene.
The fundamental unit of heredity and the sequence of nucleotides in DNA that codes for the creation of RNA or protein.
Examples:
Gene expression. Gene cloning. A defective gene is responsible for the disease.
Neurotransmitter.
A chemical that carries nerve impulses between neurons or between neurons and muscles.
Examples:
Neurotransmitter receptor. Neurotransmitters released from the brain. Endorphins are a type of neurotransmitter that gives a sense of well-being.
Dopamine.
A chemical substance produced by nerve cells as a neurotransmitter. As a drug, it is used to treat shock and hypotension.
Examples:
Dopamine inhibiting agent. Antagonism of dopamine. The drug controls the level of dopamine in the brain.
Circuit.
In electrical engineering, an electrical device that provides a path for electrical current to flow, a journey or route around a particular place or area.
Examples:
Circuit breaker. Federal Circuit courts. An intelligent battery has a voltage monitoring circuit.
Analyze.
To think about in depth and evaluate to discover essential features or meaning.
Examples:
Analyze a chemical compound. Analyze your real motives. The teacher attempted to analyze the root cause of our mistake.
Normally.
Usually, under normal conditions.
Examples:
Complete normally. Not normally drink much. I don't normally take a vacation in the middle of summer.
Colleague.
One of a group of a coworker, especially in a profession or a business.
Examples:
Collaborate with colleagues. Former colleague. I decided to seek counseling on the advice of my colleague.
Bunch.
A grouping of several similar things which are growing or fastened together.
Examples:
A bunch of trees. A bunch of schoolgirls. One bad apple spoils the whole bunch.
Brain.
The organ inside the head that is responsible for one's movement, thought, memory, and feeling.
Examples:
Basic brain function. Permanent brain damage. X-rays revealed a small tumor in his brain.
Psychopathic.
Relating to or suffering from a serious, and often undiagnosed, mental disorder with extreme or violent social behavior.
Examples:
High levels of psychopathic traits. Psychopathic issues. He is going to play a psychopathic killer in this movie.
Typical.
Having the usual characteristics or traits of a specific group of things.
Examples:
Typical leader. Fairly typical symptoms. This artwork is typical of her work.
Blind.
Unable to see, unable or unwilling to perceive or understand the true nature of something.
Examples:
Blind to the beauties. Blind spot. She was nearly blind due to severe diabetes.
Experiment.
The scientific test conducted to observe what happens and gain new knowledge.
Examples:
Experiment design. Series of experiments. His experiments showed highly positive results.
Norm.
Something that is regarded as usual, typical, or standard.
Examples:
Norm of action. Cultural norm. The systems we have developed has accepted as industry norms.
Theoretical.
Relating to the concepts and principles upon which a particular topic is founded, rather than practice and experience.
Examples:
Theoretical models. Theoretical physicist. Absolute zero is the lowest theoretical temperature.
Genetics.
The branch of biology that studies genes, genetic variation, and heredity in organisms.
Examples:
The science of genetics. Genetics discrimination. He is a specialist in the genetics of aging.
Damage.
To harm or cause injury to something or someone, often resulting in decreased value or functionality, to impair or negatively affect something, such as a reputation or relationship. Noun, harm or injury that is caused to a person, thing, or entity.
Examples:
Damage a relationship. Damage assessment. During the surgery, the doctor had to be extremely cautious not to damage a blood vessel.
Interaction.
The act of connecting with someone, mainly when working, playing, or spending time with them.
Examples.
The interaction between man and his environment. Interaction among human beings. The interaction of the two groups is good for brainstorming.
Environment.
The natural world such as air, water, and land in which humans, animals, and plants live.
Examples.
Environment affairs. Chaotic environment. Every human is responsible for taking care of the Earth's environment.
Epigenetic.
Relating to changes in gene expression that are not caused by alterations in the underlying DNA sequence, but rather by modifications to the structure of DNA or proteins that regulate gene activity.
Examples.
Epigenetic inheritance. Epigenetic markers. Epigenetic research has opened up new possibilities for the treatment of certain diseases.
Psychopath.
A person with an extreme personality disorder characterized by a lack of empathy, remorse, and ethical values, often associated with manipulative and deceitful behavior, impulsivity, and risk-taking tendencies.
Examples.
Psychopath tendencies. Violent psychopath. The detective identified the psychopath who had been terrorizing the city for months.
Precise.
Sharply exact or accurate or delimited.
Examples.
Precise analyses. Estimate precise costs. The content is precise and informative for me.
Murder.
The crime of killing somebody intentionally.
Examples.
Murder in the second degree. Attempted murder. This intriguing murder mystery remains unsolved.
Serial.
Consisting of or occurring in a series or sequence, relating to or involving a series or sequence of events, stories, or incidents.
Examples.
Serial killer. Serial number. The company is launching a new line of cereal products aimed at young adults.
Orbit.
The path of an object around a celestial body, especially a planet, star, or moon, under the influence of gravity. Of medicine, the bony cavity in the skull that houses the eyeball and its associated structures, like muscles, nerves, and blood vessels.
Examples.
The orbit of the moon. A planetary orbit. The rocket engine is used to put the satellite into orbit.
Cortex.
The outermost layer of an organ, especially the brain.
Examples.
Cortex cells. Visual cortex neuron. The cerebral cortex consists of 6 layers.
Interior.
The inside or inner part of something, the space within the walls of a building.
Examples:
Interior decoration. Plenty of interior space. The painter focused on the moody interiors of abandoned buildings in his work.
Temporal.
Of or relating to time as opposed to eternity.
Examples:
A temporal restriction. Temporal history. The temporal nature of the universe is a subject of much debate among scientists.
Lobe.
A rounded projection or division, especially of the brain, lung, or liver.
Examples:
Lobe of the liver. Frontal lobe. The lungs are divided into 5 lobes.
Violent.
Involving or caused by physical force or aggression against someone or something.
Examples:
Victim of a violent crime. Violent incident. The protesters became violent when the police tried to disperse them.
Variant.
Something that is slightly different from others of the same type.
Examples:
Variant types of pigeon. A variant of the same word. The first variant of the virus appeared in less than a month.
Population.
The total number of people in a country, region, or location.
Examples:
Population change. Labor population. In just 4 years, the population has doubled.
Chromosome.
A long and string-like DNA molecule containing the part or all of the genetic material of an organism that controls what an animal or plant is like.
Examples:
A sex chromosome. The end of chromosome. Human females normally have 2 X chromosomes.
Probable.
Likely to happen or likely to be true.
Examples:
Probable outcome. Probable cause of a fire. It seems probable that he has forgotten our scheduled meeting.
Aggressive.
Behaving in an angry, energetic, or threatening way towards another person, tending to spread quickly.
Examples:
An aggressive war. An aggressive tumor. An aggressive tide wrecked the ship.
Dilute.
To make a substance less concentrated by adding a liquid or another substance to it.
Examples:
Dilute acid with water. Dilute a great idea. She diluted the concentrated juice with water.
Pass.
No longer fashionable or current, outdated, considered to be old-fashioned or out of date.
Examples:
Passé entertainment. Passé trend. Bell-bottom jeans, once considered passé fashion, have made a surprising comeback in recent years.
Serotonin.
A neurotransmitter equals a chemical that carries nerve impulses involved in, example, sleep, emotion, and memory.
Examples:
Serotonin drug. Serotonin levels. The medicine works by boosting serotonin levels in the brain.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Suppose.
To think that something is likely to be actual or possible.
Examples:
Suppose you're right. Suppose beforehand. What do you suppose the culprit's motive was?
Calm.
Not excited, angry, or nervous, free from wind, large waves.
Examples:
Calm sea. Calm manner. It was the first time in a long time that I felt truly calm and at peace.
Relax.
To become or cause someone to become less active or tense and calmer.
Examples:
Relax a series of muscles. Relax at home. The rules were relaxed after the new executive arrived.
Uterus.
A hollow muscular organ in the body of a woman or other female mammal in which a baby or young animal develops before birth.
Examples:
Uterus cancer. Bleeding from uterus. The physician prescribed medication to relieve the contraction of the uterus.
Bathe.
To wash or immerse oneself or another person in the water or a liquid, to expose a part of the body to a natural element, such as sunlight or air.
Examples:
Bathe in the sea. Bathe the baby. I always bathe my dog after she swims in the lake.
Insensitive.
Not showing or feeling concern for the needs and feelings of others.
Examples:
An insensitive heart. Insensitive behavior. His insensitive comments made her feel hurt and unimportant.
Consequence.
The outcome of a particular action or event, especially relative to an individual.
Examples:
Unintended consequences. The consequence of an argument. These economic activities had disastrous environmental consequences.
Puberty.
The process of a person's physical changes through which their sexual organs develop and become capable of reproduction.
Examples:
At the height of puberty. The onset of puberty. In this culture, men are initiated when they reach puberty.
Involve.
To include or affect someone or something as a necessary part of something else.
Examples:
Involve a lot of paperwork. Involve a high degree of risk. The investigation involves several government agencies and is expected to take several months.
Traumatic.
Relating to or caused by injury, especially emotional injury.
Examples:
Traumatic event. Traumatic brain injury. The experience was so traumatic that it left a lasting impact on the survivor's mental health.
Spank.
A quick slap or strike, usually with an open hand, on the buttocks as a form of punishment or discipline. Verb, to strike someone, especially a child, on the buttocks as a punishment.
Examples:
Give a light spank. Don't spank your partner. The child received a spank on his bottom as punishment for misbehaving.
Neuron.
A cell that is specialized to carry information within the brain and between the brain and other parts of the body.
Examples:
Excite the neurons. Neuron cell body. Our body transfers information along each neuron using an electrical impulse.
Recipe.
A set of instructions for preparing a dish, including the ingredients and the method of cooking.
Examples:
Recipe book. Recipe collection. The recipe for the cake is passed down from generation to generation in her family.
Disaster.
An unexpected event or series of events that cause widespread damage, destruction, or loss of life.
Examples:
Global disaster. Disaster recovery. The disaster response team worked around the clock to aid those affected by the earthquake.
Absolute.
Perfect or complete, or to the most considerable degree possible.
Examples:
Absolute loyalty. An absolute must. Gandhi had an absolute zeal for nonviolence.
Constant.
Happening repeatedly or all the time.
Examples:
A constant wind. A constant temperature. Constant dropping wears away the stone.
Generation.
All the people born and living at about the same time, regarded collectively, the production of heat or electricity.
Examples:
Generation gap. The generation of electricity. The younger generation has different values and beliefs than the older one.
Mate.
A person's partner in marriage or romantic relationship, an animal's sexual partner, a peer or friend, of the game of chess, checkmate, which is the winning condition of the game.
Examples:
Smoking mate, dog-loving mate. I need to find a mate for my female guinea pig so she doesn't get lonely.
Concentration.
The ability to focus all your time and energy on one thing without thinking about anything else.
Examples:
Concentration of armaments. His research area of concentration. This exam requires excellent concentration to pass.
Tinderbox.
A situation or place that is highly susceptible to conflict, violence, or rapid spread of fire, a highly volatile or unstable situation.
Examples:
Tinderbox situation. Environmental tinderbox. The economic crisis turned the once stable region into a tinderbox of unrest.
Hell.
The place thought to be where bad people go and are punished after death, often depicted as being located beneath the earth, an extraordinarily unpleasant or difficult place.
Examples:
Run like hell. Hell broke loose. The battlefield became hell on earth.
Blame.
To think or say that someone or something did something wrong or is responsible for something bad.
Examples:
Blame circumstances for the failure. Blame the lack of knowledge. We blamed our impeded progress on lack of money.
Background.
The details of a person's social heritage, such as family, vocational or educational experience, past information that is essential to understanding a situation or problem.
Examples:
A background color. A criminal background. The company's hiring criteria emphasize personality, not a person's background.
Cousin.
The child of your aunt or uncle.
Examples:
Cross-cousin marriage. Cousin's family. I used to play with my younger male cousins when I was a little girl.
Founder.
A person who establishes an organization, institution, or business, the structural component of a ship or boat that provides stability and resistance against capsizing.
Examples:
Founder of a company. Nonprofit founder. The company's founder envisioned creating innovative technology that would change the world.
Historic.
Famous or significant in history, or potentially so.
Examples:
Historic accomplishment. Achieve the historic feat. The Chinese people have accomplished several historic feats.
Homicide.
The act or instance of killing another person, murder, manslaughter, or other unlawful violent killings.
Examples:
mass homicide, serial homicide. The detective was called to investigate a homicide in the city.
Witch.
A person, typically a woman, who is believed to have magic powers and practices witchcraft.
Examples:
Witch hunt, witch trial. Many people in the medieval period believed in witches and their ability to cast spells.
Pause.
To take a short break from talking or doing something before continuing.
Examples:
Pause a moment. Pause for a reaction. The man paused before opening the door.
Conscientious.
Characterized by a sense of duty or responsibility, diligent, meticulous, and careful in one's work or actions.
Examples:
Conscientious worker. Conscientious objection. Conscientious student always turned in their assignments on time.
Objector.
A person who openly opposes or expresses disagreement with something, usually a policy, action, or belief. Someone who refuses to comply with something due to moral, ethical, or ideological reasons.
Examples:
Political objector. Conscientious objector. The company had to face numerous legal objectors before they could proceed with their new initiative.
Moral.
Concerned with the principles of what is right and wrong, fairness, honesty, etc.
Examples:
Moral hazard. Moral burden. Ethics deals with moral conduct.
Grandkid.
The grandchildren of a particular person.
Examples:
Spend the weekend with their grandkids. Cute grandkids. She was so proud of her grandkids, who were all doing well in school and had great personalities.
Concerned.
Feeling worry or interest about something, showing interest or attention.
Examples:
Persons concerned. Concerned citizen. I am concerned about the safety of the children playing in the park.
Pet.
An animal that you have at home as a companion and treated kindly.
Examples:
A pet bird. A teacher's pet. I have a parrot as a pet.
Scan.
To examine something hastily, with the eyes or with a machine, to get information.
Examples:
Scan the face of a man. Scan a document into PDF. She stood on the podium and scanned an audience.
Genetic.
Of or relating to genes, equals parts of the DNA in cells, or the science of genes.
Examples:
Have genetic testing. A genetic disorder. Understanding protein folding is a vital step in deciphering the genetic code.
Sibling.
A brother or sister, member of a family born to the same parents.
Examples:
Have a sibling quarrel. Play with my siblings. Children often copy their parents or elder siblings.